More on the Clintons. George Stephanopoulos, ABC News chief, gave $50,000 to the Clinton Foundation, and he did not disclose it even when he was reporting on Hillary and Bill. Media Research Center's Tim Graham is in D.C. Now, ABC says, yeah, he should have reported it, but we're going to stand behind him. What do you make of that?
I think this whole story is outrageous. I mean, the idea is that George Stephanopoulos put on author Peter Schweitzer a few weeks ago and pounded away at him about how dare he try to suggest there was something wrong with the Clinton Foundation. It was quite obvious that George Stephanopoulos should have recused himself from that interview, or he should have had the decency and the ethics to announce to the audience that he had donated tens of thousands of dollars to the foundation that he very much looked like he was defending.
What's going on here? We've got a top guy at ABC News. He does an interview with the man who wrote the book about the Clintons and their cash, and he has given them $50,000. Now, that to me suggests that he's basically a Clintonite, that he's all in favor of Hillary Clinton, and he puts his money where his mouth is, but he doesn't tell anybody. I think that's outrageous.
They've tried to suggest, well, he just cares about deforestation and AIDS. Look, this is obviously, the Clinton Foundation is first and foremost a political operation, a publicity operation, a Clinton legacy operation. There is lots of charities you could give to that didn't have the Clinton name on it, and Stephanopoulos is giving into it because it has the Clinton name on it. 10 years ago, we made this point, Brent Bozell made this point, that he was moderating panels at the Clinton Global Initiative at the same time he's interviewing Clinton about the Clinton Global Initiative. He didn't tell anybody. They just assume, I think, well, everybody knows that we're tight. You cannot trust George Stephanopoulos to be a fair and impartial arbiter on the Clintons. I think we all knew that before, but, he's just as deeply unethical about this Clinton Foundation as they are.
Well, how come ABC can just dismiss it and say, yes, he should have reported it, but we stand behind him? What's ABC doing? I don't get it. I'm sorry, I just don't get this. This is an obvious, egregious example of a conflict of interest, and ABC does nothing about it. What is going on here?
They could have at least said, George, this isn't an interview you should do. Let's have Martha Raddatz do this interview instead, or somebody else at ABC News do this interview instead. They just don't have the decency or the brains to figure out that this is not the way to proceed. I just think that, again, when it comes to the Clintons and the media, there's just this level of shamelessness. They were shameless back in 2002 when they all made a big deal out of the fact that Roger Ailes sent George W. Bush a back message note. Not $50,000. He sent a note to Bush. This was a gross ethical breach. Well, then get around and put this report on the air. Let's cover this scandal like the Brian Williams scandal.
Yeah, and the president calls out Fox News for covering stories. It really is extraordinary. Tim Graham, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you, sir.